Daryl Wright running for council preaching economic prosperity. Plus, Filipino Fiesta, a celebration of Filipino culture in the border city.
This is Newcap News with Adam McVicker.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The race for the PC leadership is on. The provincial PCs have been without a leader for about a year and a half. The last leader was former Premier Jim Prentice. He stepped away from politics after the PCs lost at the last election to the NDP in May 2015. PC MLA Wayne Drysdale is excited the leadership race has finally started and says this vote will determine more than just who the next party leader will be.
We're rebuilding our party and kind of going back to our roots, like our principles of the Progressive Conservative Party. I don't think are that far off of what Albertans believe in, and a lot of Albertans still believe in them principles. We might have got away from those principles, so I think the new leader will bring us back to the progressive conservative principles.
4 candidates have declared they're running for the leadership. PC House Leader Richard Starkey, former PC MLA Donna Kennedy-Glanz, lawyer Byron Nelson, and former Conservative MP Jason Kenney. The new leader will be chosen on March 18th. A first-timer to municipal government, Daryl Wright is vying for a seat on City Council. Wright says he wants to make Lloydminster an attractive place to live.
I look at Lloydminster as a community that had a lot of hope. I moved here, put down some roots, just recently had a child. And I think that we need to focus on making sure that it is a place that people want to move, that it's a place that people feel is economically prosperous. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have the books correct in the city side of things.
Wright has a degree in business administration and economics and is currently working on a master's in environmental protection. School zone hours and city expenses are 2 of the many issues Wright is focused on heading into the election.
A lot of questions about snow removal, questions about facade upgrades and when that's going to happen. And then there seems to be a big focus on issues like the community hub, which I think the city can't really afford that. And then at the same time, there's the wastewater treatment plant that they say they can't afford.
Wright is urging constituents to go to his Facebook page to learn more about his campaign. Well, mothers from around Lloydminster gathered at the Root this weekend for the Quintessent Breastfeeding Challenge.
It is normal. Breastfeeding is usually what the baby wants and usually what the mom wants. And somewhere in there, if there's no support, then they have trouble keeping that relationship going. So we're here just to spread the news that we are here to support moms and to help them in that journey.
Promoting support for mothers and showing the community breastfeeding is a normal part of life, the event was held nationally and internationally. Here in the border city, 15 moms and 17 babies took part in the challenge.
People need to understand that this is normal. This is how we are supposed to feed our babies. Evolutionarily, it's not odd. It's not anything that's sexual. It's just we're feeding our babies and that's it.
Organizers say the event was a success, but there's no word on if they'll do it again next year. Well, Saturday evening, the Filipino community had one of its biggest events of the year in Lloydminster with the Philippines Fiesta. The event was hosted by St. Anthony Roman Catholic Church, bringing people of all races from across the border city.
We are so thankful as Filipino community here in Lloydminster for giving an opportunity for us to really showcase our culture and share it with Canadians, friends, and of course for the other newcomers in the community.
The night's festivities included dancing, singing, raffle contests, and of course plenty of food.
Filipino festivities is a lot of wonderful and colorful things happening at the same time. Besides from the sumptuous foods, which is a lot of ingredients, a lot of spices.
Members from throughout the community were intrigued not only for the food and entertainment, but to experience a unique part of the Lloydminster community.
The cultural diversity of our city, and they're bringing their culture to share with the residents of Lloydminster, and I think that's really incredible to see.
Understand a little bit more about the different cultures that we have here in Lloyd and how they all benefit and help our community.
Tickets had sold out by the Fiesta start time of 6 p.m. Well, Josh, it was a beautiful Sunday today, like a nice way to end the weekend.
Yes, it was, especially after the drudgery of yesterday where we had so much rain coming down, along with pretty aggressive winds, I might add. It's been very calm
winds
today. Winds coming out of the west, no more than really around 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers an hour. No big gusts as we were last year, or yesterday rather. Right now, 4 degrees in the border city. Winds coming out of the south-southeast at a gentle 6 kilometers per hour, and the humidity is getting up there. We are dropping down to that average low of 1 above the freezing temperature there. Also 4 in the Lakeland area, 5 over in the Battlefords. Pretty minor winds in those 2 regions as well, with the winds coming out of the south and the north respectively. A quick look at earlier today where we had some cloud cover disappear slowly as we got into the afternoon. More on that later in the show.
The Lloyd Comp Barons did not let up in their final divisional game for first place, beating the St. Paul Lions 37-6 in what was their best performance yet. Moses Woldu has more from a confidence-boosting win for the Purple and Gold.
Despite penalties and some minor miscues in the first half, the Barons showed why they're one of the best in the Wheatland Football League.
It should have really been a higher score in the first half, but yeah, the guys came out in the second half, and a couple things worked that didn't work in the first half, and we capitalized.
Capitalizing in the air and on the ground. Something Coach Harper likes to see.
That's our O-line. Yeah, we got a couple bruisers up front that get after it, and our running backs did a good job. And you think like we were down a couple of guys in the second half, so we get everybody healthy and back on the horse. We'll be pretty good.
The game also had a special meaning for the group who lost to St. Paul last season in a similar winner-take-all matchup for first place.
I'll admit that we maybe underestimated these guys last year, and they caught us by surprise and caught us in the chin, and we weren't going to let that happen. I stressed this week that, this is the best football team we've seen all year, and I thought the guys did a really good job bringing the intensity, bringing the effort, and executing.
And no facet of the game was more spot on in execution than the Barons defense, hounding the quarterback, eliminating big plays downfield.
We just didn't want to let each other down. We wanted to click as a team, and we just wanted to win it for each other. It's great to see that, like when we come out strong and the other team comes out strong, and we're able to just nail them down and just drive it down on the throats. It's just nice. It's nice to have that fact that we're able to help out our offense too.
The win ensures the Barons and Holy Rosary will face off against each other in a crossover game, with the winner securing home field throughout the playoffs. An opportunity the Barons might look at as a time to rest their players.
On one side, it's nice to get another competitive game, and they have a great football team over there, a really special quarterback. On the other side, it doesn't mean anything in the standing, so we're going to let a couple of guys that are really, really banged up that toughed it out today, maybe not take off the game, but at least take a couple of days off of practice and rest their wounds. So that's sort of where we're at.
Moses Woldu, Newcap Sports.
Well, despite a steady downpour of rain, there was plenty of community support on display for Lloydminster Minor Football Day, or it's now known Rod Kirby Football Day. The change is in honor of the beloved coach and pioneer of minor football in Lloydminster who passed away this year. Josh Ryan has more.
The renaming of Lloydminster Minor Football's biggest day of the year to Rod Kirby Football Day is a fitting tribute to the legendary coach. It's the beginning of an annual tribute to Kirby, along with plans to rename facilities after him as well.
We thought it was fitting, given the time and passion he put into the Minor Football Association, so something we can give back.
Kirby helped build minor football on and off the field, garnering community and family support in the area.
It hit our family like a train. Like, we didn't know how to react to it.
The Pee Wee teams were just a house league, sort of a modified game, and he advanced it to what you see today with full 12-man football and expanding the league outside of Lloydminster and giving kids a real opportunity to play.
With the biggest event on the calendar past them, Lloydminster Minor Football's next focus is its annual general meeting to figure out how to move forward.
I think we're doing okay. We'll find out at year end, where there's some shortfalls and what we have to do to make sure that we're better moving forward.
Josh Ryan, Newcap Sports.
Well, that's your look at sports. Josh is in next with your weather forecast.
Here is Newcap weather.
Well, Well, Josh, we saw plenty of sunshine this afternoon. It was kind of welcome, wasn't it? Like, it was a nice way to end the weekend.
It was a very nice way to end the weekend, and nice to have at least one more gasp of sunshine before winter hits us, as it soon will. Right now, we're just going to take a quick look at the next 24 hours of cloud cover. Won't be much as it's kind of clearing off to the east, and a better look here on our system map, as you can see that low pressure system just missing us at the bottom of your screen going down south, but there's another one coming in a few days that could make things interesting. 4 right now in the Midwest, 3 in the Lakeland area, and 5 over in the Battlefords. And then overnight, we're going to get down to 1, 2 in the Battleford, so it'll just be a tad warmer. Wind largely coming out of the south. Then tomorrow afternoon, 14 degrees in the Lakeland area, the Midwest, and guess what? In the Battlefords as well, with winds largely out of the northeast. Fortunately, not a triple lucky 13s is what we had last week. That looked a bit ominous. 6 degrees on Tuesday, then 2 on Wednesday as the week continuously gets cooler. 3 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Does bump back up to 6 on Sunday, but there's a strong chance of showers throughout the day, along with that -1 low on Sunday evening. The worst low of the week, -5 on Thursday, so make sure you wear some sheets when you go to bed that night. 40% chance of flurries on Wednesday, particularly in the morning, could start very early morning, around 1 or 2 a.m., and chance of some scattered showers as well on Tuesday evening. The wind starting out in the north and will gradually shift into the south on Thursday, Friday, and come out of the southeast for the remainder of the week. And that has been your 7-day forecast.
Not liking those overnight lows. I'm not liking those overnight lows. Or chance of flurries. Not liking that either. That's bad news, I think.
I think you speak for most of Canada.
I think I do as well. Winter's coming. Well, that's actually all the time we have for this evening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Cheers.